Quick tips on how to read a food label. Think about this. When we're at the grocery store, we probably buy based on the front of the package. But if you really want to know what's in a product, you need to turn that package around and look at the food label. Food label is divided into two separate areas. There's a part down here on the bottom that does not change, and it's the same on every label. Then from here up, this part of the label is going to change based on the product and the amount. I'm going to start with the bottom of the label. You'll see there's two calorie levels listed, 2,000 and 2,500. For purposes of our discussion today, I'm going to focus just on the 2,000 calorie, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. This part of the food label is going to give you some information. It's going to say if you're following 2,000 calories, you probably don't want to consume more than 65 grams of fat in a day, no more than 20 grams of saturated fat in a day, no more than 300 milligrams of cholesterol, 2,400 milligrams of sodium, 300 grams of carbohydrate, and at least 25 grams of fiber. This part of the label is going to change based on the amount. And the manufacturers determine the amount, so there really is no rhyme or reason into what constitutes a serving. In a half cup of this item, whatever it is, there's 200 calories, 14 grams of fat, which is 22% of this 65 grams that I just mentioned. Saturated fat at 9 grams is 45% or almost half of the total amount of 20 grams. Now you can probably do the rest of the math for this 2,000 calorie. What's really important, and this is the easy part of the label, remember two numbers in the percent daily value column. Anything 5% or less is considered low. Anything 20% or more is considered high. So even if you don't remember that this 14 grams of fat refers to this 65 grams, you know that this is a high fat, high saturated fat, high cholesterol, and a low sodium, low carbohydrate, and a low fiber product. So anything 5% or less is low, anything 20% or more is high. Now there's a few gaps here in the percent daily value column. Trans fats, which were developed by the food processing industry to help food stay fresh longer, actually increases our cholesterol. So scientists don't even know what this percent daily value should be. They're just saying, please keep it really low. There's also no percent daily value listed for sugar because up until about a year and a half ago, there were no guidelines. American Heart Association came out with the guidelines, and basically they're saying women should have no more than 28 grams of sugar a day, and those are added sugars, and men should have no more than 40 grams per day. There's no percent daily value for protein because everybody's protein requirements are different. So let me just recap real quickly. When we go grocery shopping, we shop based on the front of the label. If you really want to know what's going on inside that product, you need to turn it around and look at the back of the label. Label is divided into two sections. The bottom section does not change. It's the same on every product, and it actually gives you some good nutrition information. The top of the label varies depending on the type of the food and the amount. Remember two numbers, 5% and 20. Anything 5% or less is considered low in the percent daily value column. Anything 20% or more is considered high. Tips on reading a food label.